You know, I love the Powerpuff Girls. Sure, I'm a grown man, it's probably weird to say that, but I don't care. It was a nice blend of comedy, characters, and absolute violence. It was a show that pretty much put Cartoon Network on the map and helped give the network its identity, but one thing I noticed was that no one really talks about the movie. It was a bomb at the box office and it damn near faded into obscurity, and I don't get why. Well, I think it's time someone finally dove into the Powerpuff Girls. No, wait a minute, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it more like in the sense of... This is the Powerpuff Girls movie. We open on the city of Townsville, which is apparently being visited by ISIS, as we see the town in its natural routine of crime and debauchery. And one man aims to do something about it. And that man is a guy in a lab coat grocery shopping. Why did he stop right there and look so serious when doing it? I came here to fuck bitches and do science. And I'm all out of bitches. The professor goes back to his car to head home, but not before getting a visit from the Jolly Green Giant's hell spots. What the hell? Apparently the professor randomly owns a monkey. I'm willing to bet whatever he pays his cleaning team is not enough. The professor tries mixing ingredients through all the chaos his monkey is causing before he is quickly reminded that loose monkeys in a lab are not a good idea. The monkey pushes the professor into a container filled with a substance called Chemical X, which I suspect is the secret ingredient to moonshine. The chemicals start spilling into the mix, causing a big explosion to happen, giving us a giggling logo. Funny, the last time a guy made a special mix for a girl, it didn't end with giggling. We cut back to the scene as the professor wakes up to realize he created life. The girls greet him as the professor decides to give them names.
So, we have Blossom, Bubbles, and... Buttercup, because it also begins with a B.
Wow, that's almost as bad as looking at a random object and then naming your child after it. Good thing there wasn't a butt plug in the room. The professor goes to buy the girls gifts while leaving them alone after just being born. He's gonna make a great dad. The professor comes back and finds out the girls have superpowers while the monkey from before looks on menacingly with his brain now sticking out of his head before disappearing. The professor gets the girls used to their new home while also discovering new powers of theirs. A new day comes for them as the professor enrolls them in school. Weird choice considering they were just born yesterday with powers he doesn't really know everything about, but those child fatality rates are so overblown, it'll be fine. He takes the girls to a school called Poke Oaks Kindergarten without telling anyone about their powers, which is pretty obvious it won't end well. They hit it off pretty well with the other students until they get involved with a game of tag. This leads to honestly a pretty bitchin' action sequence.
I'm gonna tag you guys now!
Girls, no! Wait!
This basically just shows off what would happen if you let kids play with superpowers. Unbridled destruction and devastation. This was also because the creators of the show have a bigger budget to play around with, so they clearly wanted to impress their audience. The professor chases the girls down very unsuccessfully.
There they are!
Nothing to say about that, it was just funny. We cut to the mayor looking at the calamity happening to his city as he aims to do something about it. He plans on doing something so courageous, so extreme, something so out there that no politician dare dream of doing, lest they're willing to commit career suicide. And that is getting a pickle. Wouldn't be the first time a politician ignores their people. The girls' game ends up crashing the party as they literally crash into the mayor before he can enjoy his pickle. The professor manages to get the girls home while they're completely oblivious of what they've done.
Well, now, 3 little girls had a very busy day today, didn't they?
That is the understatement of the fucking millennium. He puts them to bed after telling them that they can't use their powers. Blossom says the people of Townsville are nice, only to be proven wrong by the next scene. They go back to school the next day to find out that clearly the school should have been closed for repairs. I mean, what type of school board allows the students to be in a hostile environment like that? They must really want their kids to learn their ABCs. But mommy, all the walls are broken in the school. You will get an A in no time, Billy! The girls see their game clearly pissed off a lot of people as we go to the professor about to pick up the girls. He steps outside to find that the people want him under arrest. He's taken away as the girls are left outside of the school and have to make their way home by themselves. They apparently never seen the route home and mistakenly end up back in the city. They walk around the city taking note of all the chaos they've caused.
You maniacs! You blew it up!
They walk into the back of a convenience store as they meet up with some familiar green faces.
Ho ho ho. Green giant.
The girls are then saved by a shadowy figure with very unrealistic aim. They chase the figure back to his cardboard home and he's revealed to be the professor's old lab monkey named JoJo. The girls show their powers to him and he convinces them to help out with his plan to create a make-though-town a better place machine, which involves them diving into a volcano. That's just randomly in the middle of the city! You know what, if a scientist can create 3 superpowered technicolor girls from candy, why bother questioning a random volcano?
Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's very hot.
They emerge from the volcano successful as they begin their work on the machine. I have to ask, does nobody notice them working up there? Seems like it would be difficult to miss 3 light bright streaks just flying around. They finish their work on the machine and JoJo rewards them by taking the girls to the zoo. He keeps them from seeing most of the other animals and only focuses on the monkeys and apes, which should raise a few red flags, but they're only 2 days old, so I'll give them a pass. The girls finally make it home as the professor is thrown back into his house, apparently just getting a slap on the wrist for all the destruction. Scientific privilege wins again. Science lives matter. We then cut to JoJo teleporting all the apes back to his home to put on a pretty awesome metal music video. The next day comes as the girls decide to show off what they've done for the town. They fly into the city only to find out they step into Rise of the Planet of the Apes. They find out that JoJo tricked them as he reveals his new name to be Mojo Jojo, which I fail to see the upgrade. They try to apologize to the professor for their mistake, but he's lost all faith in them. They can't take this as they partake in the tradition of what many children do when their parents are disappointed in them. Fly into space. What, you don't do that when your parents lose faith in you? Pfft, weirdo. We see Mojo celebrating his victory as he proclaims himself the ruler of the apes. But not for too long as his army turns against him and decides to make their claim as rulers themselves. Some of them are pretty funny wanting to make their own claims.
I, hotter water, am boiling mad, for you are all wet behind the ears. Therefore, I shall unleash a scalding torrent to drown you all out, for I don't give a... Watch your mouth!
I, blah 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 blah, shall create a source of chaos and stir up trouble with a destructive force known as the tornado!
This angers Mojo as we cut to the girls sitting on an asteroid, which sounds like a famous 80s power ballad, but surprisingly isn't. The girls start to blame each other for everything that's happened as they also hear the cries of the townspeople, which should be impossible since sound can't travel through space, but whatever. Mojo gets fed up with his ape army not listening to him as he chokes the professor to make the girls return to Earth. The girls try to save everyone but realize it's a futile effort. A major epiphany is made when Buttercup has to save a dog and knocks out one of the apes. The girls start using their powers to turn the tide of battle and save the town while making a few goofy puns.
Come on, girls! Let's put an end to this guerrilla warfare! Hallelujah, it's raining!
Monkey!
Mojo takes the professor hostage as the girls make their way to his evil lair. Mojo pumps himself full of Chemical X and makes himself bigger.
And you can tell King Kong, he don't run this.
The girls face off against Mojo in a pretty epic final battle. This honestly has some nice action sequences. Mojo turns up the heat as he captures the girls and climbs to the top of the tallest building in the city. A giant ape climbing the tallest building. I wonder where this can go. As expected, the girls break free from his grasp and start wailing on him, sending him falling to the ground. The professor comes back into the picture with a complete Deus Ex Machina called Antidote X that turns Mojo back to normal. The girls make a decision to turn themselves into normal girls but are stopped by the townspeople. The town all agrees that the girls should use their powers to fight crime and the forces of evil. And so the movie is over.
Thanks to the Powerpuff Girls!
And that was the Powerpuff Girls movie, and honestly, it's pretty damn good. It's a shame it bombed at the box office. It works for those that have never watched the show and for those fans who did watch it but never knew the official origins. It's something anyone can pick up and follow along just fine. You might lose your suspension of disbelief, but like I said, if you can accept the idea of superpowered girls made from candy, you'll be just fine. But that's just a deep thought.